Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to, this is the Wix tutorial 2. And in this tutorial, we're going to kind of clean up the home page. So the first tutorial, if you haven't seen it, or if you, want to kind of get to the exact same place that this tutorial is starting, take a look at the Wix tutorial 1. That's where we've created our site and we created our menu as well. So our menu's cleaned up, it's ready to go, and our site looks good. We set up our blog, so your blog is ready to go as well. For Wix tutorial 2, we're going to actually make your homepage a little bit uh, cleaner and with your content. So the first thing we're going to do is we notice there's things all over the place that have, duplicate data or information. We've got Maya Nelson at the top. We also see in the footer, we've got Maya Nelson. We've got, the picture here. Let's see. No, we only have those 2 spots with Maya Nelson. If we look at this quick edit and we click on quick edit, notice you can bounce around and quickly make changes to some of the content. So the first thing I'm going to do is change Maya Nelson, and I'm going to go Patrick Simmons. Notice as I'm typing in the quick edit, it's typing it in the actual space, the placeholder, right, on the page. Now I'm going to go over to Project Manager, and I'm going to change that to Educator. You can do all uppercase if you want to, or lower, or a paragraph format, but I'm going to I'll do it all uppercase for now. So I'm okay with that. So let's click down to the bottom. Again, notice when you use that quick edit, it'll show you all of the different objects in that section. It makes it easy to update them. You can do a 1 by 1. So if I kind of go out of this quick edit, let's close this, close the quick edit. If you click on each one 1 by 1, you can edit them individually. So if you ever wanted to go back and just, change the format or do something for each one individually, just select them individually, click edit text, and then you can type in whatever you want to type in, right? The quick edit just allows you to quickly go in and type them all in. So, if we wanted to, we'll go Patrick. Whoops. I have my caps lock on. Patrick Simmons, powered and secured by Wix. That's okay with me. If you choose to have your phone number there, you can include your phone number. If you don't want to have your phone number, you could just remove it and make them blank. I think email is okay. So we'll put our professional email. Okay. And follow, that's okay too. Now, excuse me. One of the things that we do want, when we look at the follow, if you look down on your footer, you've got the different social media symbols. So this is where you connect your Wix tutorial to your external social media sites. The only one, I mean, by all means, if you have more than one social media site that you're active in, feel free to connect your ePortfolio to those sites. I do encourage you to connect them to the sites where you have your professional kind of identity and content. If you have a social media site that's mainly personal, and I wouldn't make that connection here. You want to have that professional page. So some people will have multiple social media sites for, like, say, Facebook. They may have one for friends and family, but they might have a professional one as well. Okay. But we're going to do a social media link to our LinkedIn account. So if you notice in the quick edit under the follow, there's the social media bar and it says set links. So let's click on set links. Notice we've got 4 different social media links already on this bar. I'm going to remove the Facebook and the formerly known as Twitter. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to leave the LinkedIn symbol, and I'm going to remove the Instagram. Okay, so if you go over to the right, you'll notice it asks you for the link to your LinkedIn page. This is where you would open up your LinkedIn profile and you'd grab your public profile link and you paste it right into this link. That way, when somebody clicks on this little icon, they'll go directly to your LinkedIn profile link. Okay. We'll go, actually, I'll show you quickly how to do that. So if you go linkedin.com, oops, you gotta spell it correctly. Computers are smart, but they do want you to type in URLs correctly. So this is my LinkedIn account. Okay. We've got welcome Patrick. Oops, we have messages. Let's just take a quick look here. Almost here. We need you to confirm your email address. I'll do that later. So welcome, Patrick. Let's just take a look. Excuse me. Notice you're going to see this little icon that says me, and then it's going to say view profile. So if I click on view profile, yeah, this is a sample student that I have. This address right here is my profile address. So I can copy this address and paste it into my LinkedIn icon and go done. Okay, so I'm going to close my quick edit. So now what I've done, I've got Patrick Simmons here. Now notice if I want to do a quick edit, my I is capitalized and I don't want it capitalized. I can just select this object, Patrick Simmons, go edit text, and then just change the I so that it's the way I want it. Whoops. Okay. Notice you can also adjust, if you wanted to, your font size, your bold, thickness. You can, there's limited, but a few different things that you can do with the text. You can change your spacing of the characters. So there's a number of different things you can do with the text. Okay, but I'm going to stick with the default. Second thing, when you're cleaning up your homepage, I want you to pay attention to the detail. I mean, your template is going to give you kind of a starting point, but notice, for example, my email address down here is a little bit disjointed because it's broken. Notice when we removed the telephone, it still has the placeholders here. So I'm going to delete those extra placeholders. I'm going to select my placeholders for my email and make it a little bit wider so that the email's in one line. And then I'm going to move the right over. The nice thing with Wix, excuse me, if you see that little pink locator, it tries to guide you when you're in line with other objects. So if you notice here, I'm going to be right centered with the email, but I'm also vertically centered with follow. So I'm going to leave it right there. That's perfect. My LinkedIn icon, I'm just going to move that over a bit till I'm centered with follow. Okay. Things you can do if you wanted to. I'm just going to move follow over here for a sec. You could just make your LinkedIn a little bit bigger if it'll let you. Icon size, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now, unfortunately, that's pushed this down. Let's move this up. Move my icon up. I'm going to delete the follow, and then I'll make my footer. I just cleaned that up a bit. Now, you don't have to do it that way with a big LinkedIn. When I look at it, I kind of like the previous approach. If I hit Control Z on my keyboard, it'll undo the different actions that I've done on my keyboard, and it'll clean it up and put it back the way it was. Okay, so have some, you can make some kind of your own variety of how you want to display your information. Make sure it's clean, it looks tidy, their things are aligned where, appropriate. Yeah, so there's our footer, there's our header. Let's look at the stuff in the middle. This welcome doesn't work for me because obviously it's broken up over two lines there. So we're going to edit it, and we're going to bring this font size down just a little bit. I mean, if you want, you can just type in and have kind of a default target font that you like, font size. So I'm going to put 85. I don't mind that it's, that it's bold. It's okay. Here's who I am and what I do. Feel free to edit that if you want, or yeah, I mean, just leave what it is. What I do want you to spend just a little bit of effort on is doing your kind of intro, and I like to call it an elevator pitch. So an elevator pitch is basically where you share your kind of professional introduction of who you are. And they call it an elevator pitch because think about if you, let's say you're at a conference and you step into the elevator, you got about 5 floors, and a recruiter of a really important job that you're excited about steps into the elevator. And they kind of look at you and you introduce yourself. You say, "Hey, my name's Patrick." And they say, "Oh, what brings you here?" This is your time to share about yourself. Say, "Well, I'm an educator. I've been, in education for 25, 30 years, and I just love working with students, and you just share a little bit about your professional values, your identity, who you are, what your goals are. But you can't put like this big, long dissertation there. It's going to be a very short intro into who you are. Sometimes it might even be a few sentences, or it could be a few short paragraphs. In the NT 125 Moodle page under the Wix assignment info sheet, there's some links to where you can get some ideas of how do you do your elevator pitch. Okay, so you can throw that in there. For those of you that want to explore and do different things, you can even, instead of putting text as an elevator pitch, put a little video here of you doing your elevator pitch through video. And again, I'd keep it to like under a minute, right? Like a minute and a half. You don't want this, 25-minute elevator pitch. But if you want, you can have a little statement and then you put a little video here, okay? You can add different things on your homepage. For the purpose of this assignment, I mean, I don't want to discourage you from, adding your personality on the homepage with some different things. Keep it within the theme of your professional identity. And also keep in mind that when we do the gallery spotlight in a future tutorial, that's also an opportunity where you're going to be able to put on the wall, right? Your professional experiences and the things that you've achieved and you're proud of, and you can post them all on your gallery wall for people to walk around and take a look at. So you don't have to throw it all on your homepage, but if there's something you want to put on your homepage because it looks pretty bland right now, by all means, put a little image and with a little statement underneath. How to do that, by the way, if you just go to this little add element, you could easily just say add an image. I'm going to just grab a free one from Wix just because I don't have one. But let's say let's see, light show. Let's say I put together a big light show. You can have your light show, and then I'm going to add underneath it some text. We'll just do a little paragraph here. And I could just edit it and say, this was a light show I worked on with a team in 2022. It was a blast, right? And then if you also want, you can center it. You could make the font a little bit smaller if you wanted to. Oops, let's just select all the text here. Okay. Just an example of what you can do if you wanted to add, something on your page. We're almost done. Our homepage. Let's clean this part up here. So some of it is repetitious. This one here where it's PS ePortfolio, you could put your name there. I'm not going to. My name's already at the top. Let's just go edit text. I'm going to put educator there. I don't mind this my ePortfolio. However, I kind of like this E to be on the second line. So to do that, I'm going to hold the shift key and go enter and just make a soft return and put it on the second line. There's that extra space. I think I'm going to delete that. Oh, no, it removed the space for me, which is perfect. So shift enter. Close that. My personal ePortfolio. I like my professional ePortfolio. So I'm just going to change that. You can put whatever you feel you're connected with there. You don't have to put that, but that's kind of what I'm going to put. Let's address the image. So we're going to change the image. I do want you to use an image. I'm going to upload, and we'll upload from the computer. I do have an image saved. Every semester, there'll be students that will have their, sometimes they'll have an image of like flowers or the mountain or, something peaceful or, things that they're connected with. I really encourage you to feel comfortable sharing an image of yourself and in a professional way. Um, this is your professional portfolio that potentially you're sharing with maybe future recruitment personnel or maybe a potential boss or so it could be something, whoops, let's try that again. Upload from computer. So I do think there's value having a nice image. Just focus and get this one loaded for a sec and then, oh, I don't think it wants me to add it. Let's try a different one. If there isn't, if I can't have access to that, I should, hey, I know I've got some images here. You'll see some images maybe of my little monkeys. Yeah, these were a photo shoot that we did. This is my son. I'm going to add my son. Why not? It's a younger version of me. But it's a good example where you can have a professional image, but it still looks good, right? Like it's not has to be in an office or wearing a suit or anything like that. So here's this image. I'm just going to choose it, dump it in there, and you can see that's a nice image. That's my boy. Now, if you wanted to edit the image, you can just go in. You can play with some of these different image tools on the left-hand side. I encourage you to just kind of fool around with them. There's different things that you can do. If you go to the filters, once we load up our filters here, whoops. Okay, so we've got enhance. I don't want that. I do want to hit the filters if it'll let me open it. You can crop and resize your image so that you're only showing part of the image that you'd like to show. You can do a cutout. The cutout will try to remove the background. So if you notice, for example, when I cut this out, it's just going to remove the background. And then you could have like a nice neutral color in the background. Those are some of the built-in features that Wix has. You can also kind of go into other image editing tools and build your image the way you want with those tools and then import them. Okay. These tools are a little bit limited, but depending on, you know, and then you can change the opacity to make it brighter or less bright. And we go save. Now, I kind of liked it the other way. So Control Z, and that just brings us right back to the original. You can play with your image. I'm also noticing my social bar at the bottom. Okay, so I want to clean up my social bar. So I'm going to go to set social links. I'm going to delete my Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, leave my LinkedIn. And just like we did before, we could go in and copy our LinkedIn profile address. And now we have our LinkedIn social bar. And I'll just put it right in the corner here. Finally, on our home page, I've got these two buttons here. So you can do what you'd like with these. This highlighted button, I'm going to make this go directly to my blog. See how that looks. Okay, my technology blog. I don't like the way that the words are crowded, so I'm going to just make it a technology blog. And then I have to tell it where to go when somebody pushes this button. So I'm going to go choose a link, and I'm going to select page. I want it to go to a page on my site. So I'm going to choose my blog. So I click on blog. I'm not going to pick any item to open up. Do I want it to open in the current window? I'm okay with that. Let's see. It may not let me add it because I may not have a post yet. So if you don't have a post, you won't be able to add it to your blog page. But as soon as you create a blog post, it will allow you to go in and add it to that page. Okay. The other one that I want to do is I want to create my projects as a link to my gallery spotlight. So again, I'm going to now select my projects, and I'm going to hit this little button, and it's already pointing to page, gallery spotlight, current window, and that's where I want it to go. Okay, so there's two ways to get to my gallery spotlight. And once I have a blog post, there'll be two ways to get to my blog, either this button here or directly through the menu. Great. So if you notice, and by the way, if you do want to, you can select on these different objects. Notice how I keep selecting until it scales down to, this different object here. And you can change the font or sorry, if you want to change the column background color. Let's try a different background. Advanced settings. If you want to add whatever colors you like. In the class on Saturday, we're going to go over some different image tips and tricks of how you can improve, or sorry, you can really use some useful online image color selector tools and really nail the exact color that you want. For example, I'll show you in the Saturday image class, if I wanted this color of this square to be identical to the color of the sweater of my son in the picture, I can easily use this online image color selector and show you how to add that. Okay. So in any case, that's setting up your home page. So I hope it was useful and have some fun with it. And tutorial 3 will be where we go through and complete the skills spotlight. And then tutorial 4 will wrap up with the gallery spotlight. Okay, great. Thanks. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.